It was a moment that no one in the Senate chamber could have predicted, a moment that left the entire nation holding its breath. The room was filled with tension so thick you could almost feel it pressing against your chest. Cameras rolled, reporters leaned forward, and the crowd went silent as Senator John Kennedy leaned into his microphone and delivered a single line that would go down in political history. What followed wasn't just a debate, it was a reckoning. Ilhan Omar, known for her fiery speeches and sharp rhetoric, entered the Senate hearing with her usual confidence. She had sparred with opponents before, faced storms of criticism, and survived them all. But this day was different. It wasn't just another exchange of political barbs. It was a clash between conviction and consequence, between words and truth. That discussion began with Omar questioning America's foreign aid priorities. She spoke passionately, her tone commanding, her words carefully chosen. "We send billions overseas," she said, while ignoring justice at home. Her supporters nodded. The crowd murmured approval, and social media buzzed with anticipation. Then, Senator John Kennedy adjusted his glasses, glanced down at his notes, and spoke with that signature Louisiana drawl that makes every word feel like a verdict. "Congresswoman," he began, his voice steady but sharp, "you talk about justice, but how can justice mean tearing down the very country that gave you a voice?" The room froze. Even Omar seemed momentarily caught off guard. Kennedy's words cut deeper than criticism. They struck at the heart of the contradiction she had built her brand upon. The crowd erupted, not in chaos, but in a wave of realization. Kennedy wasn't finished. "You came to this country seeking opportunity," he continued, his tone rising with quiet passion, "and America gave it to you. But now you stand here, criticizing its foundations, the same foundations that lifted you up. You can't curse the ladder that carried you." It was that one line, "You can't curse the ladder that carried you," that sent shockwaves through the chamber. Cameras caught Omar's expression shifting from confidence to disbelief. Her hands, once animated, froze midair. For a few long seconds, she had no response. The exchange went viral within minutes. Hashtags exploded across every platform. #Kennedy versus Omar, #the line that ended it, #respect the ladder. Millions watched the clip on repeat. Commentators called it the most defining moment of Senator Kennedy's career. Even critics of Kennedy admitted that the line carried a moral weight impossible to ignore. Behind the scenes, Omar's team scrambled to respond. Statements were drafted, interviews were cancelled, and damage control began. But the more they tried to push back, the more the public rallied around Kennedy's message. For many Americans, his words weren't about politics, they were about gratitude, responsibility, and perspective. As days passed, Kennedy's line became a symbol, not of humiliation, but of truth. People began quoting it at rallies, in classrooms, even on church signs. It was a reminder that no matter where we come from, we owe something to the place that gave us freedom. In interviews afterward, Kennedy remained humble. "I wasn't trying to end anyone's career," he said softly. "I was just trying to remind her and all of us that gratitude isn't weakness, it's strength." Meanwhile, Omar's once unshakable political presence began to falter. Poll numbers slipped. Longtime supporters grew quiet. Even within her own party, whispers spread. Had she gone too far this time? The story didn't end in anger, though. It ended in reflection. Kennedy's message sparked a larger national conversation, about what it truly means to be American, about the balance between criticism and appreciation, and about how words can build or break the bridges we all stand on. By the time the dust settled, one thing was clear. That day, John Kennedy didn't just win a debate, he reignited a conversation about gratitude, patriotism, and unity in a divided country. As the video clip continues to circulate, inspiring millions across generations, it carries one timeless truth that Kennedy so powerfully captured in a single line: "You can't curse the ladder that carried you."